Hello, my name is Dr. Farzana Hafizullah, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Dr. H. Join me and my special guests as we make incredibly tasty dishes from across the Caribbean with a healthy twist. Hi everyone, and welcome to this next episode of In the Kitchen with Dr. H. I'm Dr. Farzana Hafizullah, and it's an honor to invite you into my kitchen. Thank you to our exclusive sponsor this season, Aetna. Aetna, thank you for your continued support. And we have a lot we're celebrating. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We just concluded Hispanic Heritage Month. And of course, we have Health Literacy Month as well. So there's a lot that we're celebrating. Well, today is a special day, and I'm super excited that my guest today aligns beautifully with the dishes. We are celebrating her heritage. And of course, as you know in our show, we put a healthy twist to all of the cultural dishes that we celebrate. So what is on the menu today, everybody? And remember, you can check out our recipes online. So what's on our menu today? Well, we are making a Cuban-style arroz con pollo, or chicken with rice dish. And we're pairing that with a very refreshing ginger-infused guava limeade. I can't wait to make this with you. Into my kitchen today, Miss Isis Zambrana. Isis, welcome.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Dr. H. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
It's an honor to have you.
Thank you.
And we're celebrating Cuba.
Yes, we are. Celebrating Cuba. I love it.
And you know what? A heart-healthy twist, right?
Absolutely.
We are going to do justice to the flavors here, but we're going to make some healthy twists. So for everybody joining us here today, I'm going to go through some of those changes towards the end, but you will see it sort of incorporated all throughout, okay? Now, I know we have a lot to chat about, but we know this arroz con pollo is going to take some time.
Okay.
So we're going to get to it. What do you think?
Absolutely.
All right.
All
right. Perfect. So what I've been doing here while we're waiting for the show to start up, I did heat up about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in my pan. I have that just about ready. Now we are using chicken thighs that have the skin removed from it, and I actually marinated my chicken a little bit ahead of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to sear this. Now we know that almost every Caribbean island, they've got their own version of a chicken and rice dish, right? You hear that sizzle? Now in Trinidad, we have something similar. We have a pilau. A pilau is like, usually you caramelize the chicken with a little bit of brown sugar, and then of course you add your other ingredients. Well, my aunt never did that. She actually would use pumpkin to give that little bit of sweetness and never caramelize the chicken. So everybody, that's a nice healthy alternative.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about your background, Isis, while I'm putting this in here. Let's hear a little bit more about the incredible work that you're doing and why this is important to you.
Well, my background is Cuban. I was actually born in Cuba. My parents are both Cuban. So this dish is a staple in Cuban cuisine. I think every family has a different recipe for arroz con pollo. I think that it's a dish that really brings family together. I mean, usually families make it and invite friends and families over to have it, so it's wonderful. I came from Cuba when I was very young. I was a baby. I was 20 months. So, yeah. But I consider myself very Cuban American, obviously.
Yeah.
This dish really, reminds me of my mom. My mom makes a mean arroz con pollo.
Really?
I want to give her some suggestions, a healthier version.
Oh, please, sure.
Yeah, a healthier version.
Wow.
It's funny because not discriminating against our male counterparts, but women usually are the ones making meals,
the dishes,
right?
Absolutely.
Creating dishes,
yeah,
and passing that on through generations. Now, I'm lucky at my house. My husband is an amazing cook.
Wonderful.
He's
I
an
love
amazing
it.
cook.
So he will be making this alongside us. What's his name?
Jose.
Jose, you're making arroz con pollo with
I hope
us,
he's making it. He said he was going to make it. When I told him that Dr. H was making arroz con pollo, he's like, you know what? I think I'll make arroz con pollo. So I hope he pulls on so that he can use some of the great tips that you're going to provide today during the show.
Well, we will work together. We'll make an integrated, beautiful dish. So what I've also put on the stovetop here, chicken stock, low salt chicken stock, so that it can have the same temperature as the chicken's cooking. So it doesn't slow down the cooking process at all. So you can do that. I'm going to just take the lid off of it so that once we get ready, to use it, it's ready to use. See here. So while our chicken is sizzling on one side, even though I marinated before, because you know we love flavor, right? We're going to add some more.
Amazing.
Does it already?
You guys on camera can't smell this, but it smells incredible.
Oh, yes. Oh, let me tell you, I'm going to add some dried oregano just at the top. And I love this version. You want to take a nice smell of that. Isn't that amazing?
It smells
aromatic?
amazing.
And I have over here, we have cumin and some coriander. Now, I know that sometimes you could do like your own adobe seasoning and make your own mix.
Right.
Like you said, everybody's got their own different recipe, right?
Absolutely.
So whatever you have in your kitchen, feel free to use it. So here's a little bit of the coriander that's ground. I did the cumin right before. And we're going to color this up with some turmeric and some ground annatto seeds. I know that some countries use saffron, but in Jamaica and Trinidad and Cuba, right, you may use turmeric or the annatto seeds, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to use a little bit of that. That's going to give a beautiful color to our
And even though, you know, we have recipes passed down from our moms and our grandmothers and our great aunts and aunts, we should change it up a bit. Try something new, right? I think that's really important.
I agree. My kids definitely have been doing that. They make their own versions of all the things that we're making.
Absolutely.
And we all kind of share ideas together.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
now what we're going to do is let this sort of brown caramelize sort of on one side.
Okay.
And while that's going, we'll just let it go for a little bit before we flip it over. Some folks like to actually take the chicken out and put it on the side. So then you saute all the other ingredients together and all that delicious flavor from the very bottom gets incorporated beautifully into those spices, which is what we're going to do.
Beautiful.
Right? So I hear it's heating up nicely over here. I'm going to let that go. So tell us about the program, Por Tu Corazón.
Oh, so you asked me about my involvement. So, you know, I really believe in the mission of the American Heart Association, especially as a Latino woman. The Por Tu Corazón is really a labor of love, and it's a spin-off of the Go Red movement of the American Heart Association, which really focuses on women's heart health and prevention. And, you know, I thought it was so important and so relevant that we're talking about, you know, Hispanic heritage, everything that we're talking about, that it just ended. And women being the cooks of the family. I like to call us the CEOs of the family.
That's very true, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But at the same time, sometimes women don't really take care of themselves.
We leave ourselves last.
We leave ourselves last. So we make everyone's doctor's appointment, the kids' pediatrician, our husbands, you know, internist appointment, our grandmother, everyone, and we ignore ourselves. The Go Red for Women and Por Tu Corazón. Por Tu Corazón is focused specifically on the Hispanic woman, right? And really raising awareness about cardiovascular heart disease and prevention.
And this is Por Tu Corazón. This is a healthy version for your heart.
This is for your heart.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And every dish you create is a healthy version for our hearts, Dr. H. So.
Oh, you know, I'm an internal medicine doctor, and disease prevention is right there at the center of my heart. So whatever we can do to keep our community healthy, let's go for it. So I'm going to start to flip the chicken over a little bit. You can start to see it cooking on one side. Now this will get a chance to cook more with the rice, but that smell, the seasonings are now beginning to sort of toast a little bit more, and this is going to be so flavor forward, you're not going to miss all that extra salt. And hey, if you were making a Trinidad pilau, you definitely would not be missing the caramelized sugar.
That's for sure.
But you know, the Caribbean dishes, you know that we had so many different influences,
Absolutely.
right, in the Caribbean?
So, you know, in preparation for our show today, I started to research Arroz con Pollo, and I found that there's truly no real origin for Arroz con Pollo in Cuba, right? But at the same time, it has influences from Spain, you know. I'm sure it probably has Caribbean influences, like you say. And also, it's so colorful and aromatic that it has also influences from Africa.
Yes, it sure does. I know that the Moorish influence from Spain that came in. And then there was, most people don't, saffron is very expensive. You know, so it's not used very often, you know, at least in this one pot family meal. But in paella, this is very similar to the paella as well.
Similar to the paella.
Very similar to locrio, the pollo, I think in Dominican Republic.
Yes.
So everybody's got their
variation of it.
Yes, exactly. So I think right now, while the chicken is almost done, I'm not going to let it cook all the way because it'll have that chance to to cook with the rice.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and move it over to a separate pot right now. And we're going to use the same pot, because it's a one-pot meal. We're going to use the same pot to saute all of our other seasonings in there. So we'll have something that is like our own sofrito.
Yes.
And, add in some peas at the very end. And you see that there's some delicious flavors right on the bottom right here. And if you choose to, you can see some browning happening here, but
Yes.
we're not really looking for it to necessarily, we want it to retain the juices. It's kind of hard to overcook chicken thighs, but even if you do, that's all right. It's all in one pot. So now I'm going to use that same base right there, and we're going to add in. Now, do you normally put any kind of spicy peppers in your arroz con pollo?
Spicy peppers?
Like Scotch bonnet peppers, something like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
It's not usually, there's no heat to it.
Okay. So we could leave it out today.
Oh, no, but you can.
Hey, you're game for it?
Yes, I'm game for it. I think that's
All right.
wonderful. Absolutely.
Because I've got to put a little Trini flair on this.
Absolutely.
And so we're adding in some garlic and some of the onions in here right now.
Amazing.
Chopped garlic. It's going to just sort of melt together. And then this is sort of our sofrito type of mix right now. We're going to add some red bell peppers to this. Now, do you add any scallion? I have some chopped scallions over here that I was just going to add in.
Yeah, we can for sure. That'd be
It's-
wonderful.
Yeah, we always have a nice. When you were walking into my house today, you probably saw a lot of herbs growing on.
I did outside. That's wonderful. I said, I wonder who the gardener is.
My husband and my children, they're the ones who do the gardening. I kind of help, but they're the green ones.
So do you use the fresh herbs from the garden?
Fresh herbs from the
Oh,
garden.
that's wonderful.
Yes, and we have fresh fruit in the backyard.
Look at how colorful that
Oh,
is.
that's
Doesn't that look
beautiful.
amazing?
Talk about heart health,
Yes.
right? We're eating our colors. That's what we want to do.
And that's exactly what we want to do.
Exactly. So at this point, if you have a non-stick pan, there is no need for you to add any extra oil. Remember, we're going to add the chicken right back in.
Right.
The chicken will release some more juices,
Right.
and of course, there's oil coating the chicken, so we can control our, our oil factor, the fat factor
Absolutely.
in there.
Absolutely.
Now, at this point, you can go ahead and add the tomato sauce in, and it gives that coloring that you'll need. And then, when we add the rice and so forth, there's no wrong way to do this.
Right.
So I like to add in a little bit of the tomato paste right now.
Okay.
But this one is a low sodium tomato paste.
Very important.
That's right. So we read our labels with everything, right? We need to.
Absolutely.
And this is a can that I ended up buying, and it says no salt added. There is salt in it, but only 15 milligrams of salt.
Wow, that's
So,
really
really
low.
nice.
Yeah.
So reading those labels, so important.
So important.
Yeah. And it has a little bit of the extra tang, and it gives a little bit more of the flavor that you need for this arroz con pollo.
Yeah.
And we're going to add just maybe a little bit more in there.
And I think that you bring up a good point about reading labels when we're out shopping, as well as knowing our numbers, right? That's something that we
Yes.
talk about at the American Heart Association. We need to know our numbers, our
We sure
blood
do.
pressure, our cholesterol,
Yes.
all of those numbers that are relevant to prevention and to heart health.
That's exactly right. And speaking of numbers, right? We're talking about glycemic index, right?
Absolutely.
Making sure that our blood sugar levels stay more stable and a little bit lower. There are ways to do that. So we're not going to use white rice.
Wow.
We're using a parboiled brown rice. Now this is supposed to cook in about 10 minutes. Let's see if
Okay.
that works today if I add it in now. And we're going to mix this actually with cauliflower rice, everyone. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. Talk about heart health and keeping the
Yes.
fiber in there.
What a wonderful substitution, huh?
It absolutely is. So I'm just going to add enough rice in there and really more of the cauliflower rice. I'm going to actually put this back over here. Yep, perfect. And add in our cauliflower rice, which is basically just sort of like grated cauliflower that you can buy anywhere, or you can just do it yourself. It mixes beautifully right in.
So tell us the trick with cauliflower rice.
You have to disguise it.
You have to disguise it
If you-
amongst. So you usually mix it
I mix it in.
with brown
Correct.
rice.
Exactly. And
Okay.
especially for families who are not yet ready to just have the cauliflower itself.
Uh-huh.
We can put it right there. Perfect. And it's a good way to just sort of add it in, mix it in with the rice right there. And I'm going to actually, at this point, add a little bit more of our tomato
Uh-huh.
sauce right in here. That's going to allow us to have that beautiful color to the rice at the very end.
Looks amazing.
And now we're going to add the chicken back in at this stage. I'm keeping the Scotch bonnet peppers off, okay? Because that's not something you do.
You sure?
We could put a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead,
Like,
try
I'm not gonna
it.
put a lot, just a lot, just
This
a
is
touch.
an innovative recipe.
Just
right?
a little
We're
bit of
innovating.
spice, just a little bit of extra spice. Now in Trinidad, when we're making our pilau, we add a whole Scotch bonnet pepper.
Wow.
And the oils from the outside just infuses into the rice.
So does it add a lot of heat
Not
to
at
the
all.
dish?
It doesn't add any heat
Add
to
any
the
heat
dish.
at all?
No,
Wow.
it just adds another level of flavor.
Okay.
That's incredible. Without adding all that spice.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
great way to experiment with the recipe, right?
Exactly right. So
I'm
now,
gonna tell my husband.
you
that.
see, Jose, I hope you're taking notes.
I hope you're watching, Jose.
Well, Jose, I want to try your version as well. So we're going to add the chicken right back in.
Okay.
And look at this. It's going to be absolutely delicious. It'll have a chance to cook. And remember, our stock is already heated up.
Right.
So when we add it back in, we will just put enough to sort of cook down this rice. And I'm going to pour all of these flavors right back in.
Can't
Make
miss a
sure.
drop of that.
Oh no, we want to keep
Huh?
all of those juices right in there. Right?
Lovely.
Pop this back over here because we won't need this. And now I'm going to ladle a little bit of the stock out of this pan, just enough to sort of cover the rice, just enough for it to absorb into this beautiful arroz con pollo. What do you think so far? Is this mirroring? Does it smell good?
It
Does
smells
like,
amazing.
Mind your home.
I wish there was a way that we can have the
Yeah?
audience smell
I
it.
know. Wouldn't that be great? Smell-o-vision.
I know, smell-o-vision.
I'm going to just kind of give this a little bit of a stir
Mix it
here.
up, yeah.
Just a little bit. Just enough so all of that rice is immersed and the chicken has a chance to kind of get in there as well. And that was a nice hot stock. So we're going to cover this back up right now
Mm.
and let it go to work. And you and I will continue our conversation.
Conversation,
And
yes.
you know what we could do at this point? We can go ahead and make our drink,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
That sounds good. Are
That
you
would
ready?
be great. I'm
This is a
ready.
way to toast to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everybody. So we are making a guava limeade that has a ginger infusion in there, okay? So what we're going to do is take our little mixer shaker. Now, I don't drink any alcohol, do you?
Sometimes.
Well, I only use this for my mocktails. And so here we go. What we're going to do, you want to help me with this part?
Sure.
You want to pour some of this straight in. You can just pick
Should
this
I
whole
mix
thing.
it?
Yeah, you can mix it.
Mix it a
So
little
we
bit.
have pureed the guava, and
Okay.
of course, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are having a pink drink. So she's going to pour all of that
Absolutely.
right in there. Beautiful. I'm going to use this to kind of bring down some of that right in there. Fabulous. There we go.
Okay.
That's beautiful. And we're going to add in. You can continue to stir this a little bit. I'm going to just add in a touch of ginger. You like a lot of ginger.
I love ginger.
Okay, there you go. Great for our digestion.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to add a little bit of freshly squeezed lime juice right in, just enough. Now, the beautiful part of this, we're not adding any condensed milk or any other sugar sweeteners. We're going to use date sugar, everyone. Date sugar that has a low glycemic index means it does not cause your blood sugars to rise up too fast. Your insulin levels don't go up too high either. And it has some fiber in it. So we're going to add in just about maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons of this, and that has just enough.
And Dr. H, where would our audience get date sugar?
You can buy this online anywhere, just search date sugar, or you can make your own date sugar. So take some dates, take the seeds out, just cut them in half, take the seeds out, bake them in your oven. Once they're rock hard and dry, just put them in your blender.
Okay.
Blend it up till they're pulverized into a powder. And just store it in a nice airtight, dry container, room temperature, and you're good. You could use this, okay?
Wow.
Yeah, so what we're
What
gonna
a
do
great
is,
substitute.
yeah,
huh?
we're gonna shake this now.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna add a little bit of ice to it. What do you think, right? Make it a little bit colder. So we have, add a little bit of water, we kind of dilute it slightly. A bit.
Yeah, this is a little thick, right?
Yeah, we can add the rest of this in here.
Okay.
Not a lot. Now, looks perfect. We're gonna use this to shake it up. You ready to do some shaking? Isis?
Absolutely. Ready?
Here you go. Shake it with Isis.
Here we
Beautiful,
go.
right
Yay.
And I'm gonna get our glasses ready. Let's see how we're
What do
doing.
you think? You think it's
It's looking good.
It's
looking
looking
good.
good?
All right, let's keep it going. I think we have to give it like strawberry shakes or something. However you want. But this, see, we're physically active in the kitchen, everybody. Now,
Absolutely.
in my house, we would have music to this.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
And you see that this is boiling nicely over here. Oh, it's from boiling. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do a little tap.
Okay.
Get it down so it doesn't try to. I'm even going to release some of the air from here first.
Oh, so it's like an airtight.
It's airtight. Let's see if we can get some of this off of here, but I'm going to pour it from the bigger part now. Because it's going to be a little thick, exactly. And let's see, it's literally pulp. The ice. Do you mind the ice in there?
No.
Good. And if you didn't want the ice, we could have kept the little filter on. But I think that this becomes more of like a nice thick.
How beautiful
drink.
is that?
And you know what? You got your pulp and everything, so you got all this high fiber in there. Look at our pink drinks, guys, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Absolute.
We're toasting to you.
Salud.
Salud. Let's try this.
Mmm. Delicious.
Really good, right?
It's really good. I wish you guys could taste this.
It is not too sweet.
It is not. It's perfect.
It's the guava and the lime and the ginger.
I taste the lime.
Yeah.
I taste the ginger.
Oh, good.
I taste I really do taste everything. It's delicious.
No, it reminds us of our Caribbean homes, right?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to continue to celebrate while this is cooking over here. So, Isis, tell us a little bit more about, what impact your own, not only family history, but the quality care that you're doing, as Chief Quality Officer.
Yes.
How is this work important to the community that you're serving and to the family members that, you've seen suffer?
Absolutely. Well, my personal why in my contribution to the American Heart Association is that both my grandmothers passed to cardiovascular disease. On my paternal side, my paternal grandmother had multiple strokes. It was horrific. And on my maternal side, my maternal grandmother, and Dr. H, this is so sad, just 5 days prior to coming to visiting us, she had a massive heart attack. Now, she was a very heavy smoker, and she lived in Cuba, so her nutrition, I'm sure, was not that, as healthy as it could be. But, and I also remember my paternal grandmother, her nutrition wasn't very good. I remember her getting bread and pouring olive oil and salt on it. It was things that in the past our elders would do,
Yes.
So that's my personal why. Thank goodness I haven't had, my mom is healthy, her cardiovascular health is in good shape.
That's great.
But as it relates to my professional life, I work at Jackson Health, and you are familiar with Jackson Health, and it is a staple in our community. The work that we're doing to not only prevent disease, but to treat patients that come to us with cardiovascular diseases. So really that is, as a safety net, public academic health center, we take the health of our community very, very seriously.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely know that an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure.
Absolutely.
And our goal here today, again, we are celebrating our rich Caribbean cultures, but these small changes, that we are paying attention to today, is what's really going to help us to stay a little bit healthier, have a quality of life. And even if you're genetically prone to having some of these diseases, our lifestyle, our environment, what we put into our bodies, what we surround ourselves with, that they have a key role in the manifestation of those diseases.
Absolutely.
So that power is in your hands, everybody. Okay, we want you to embrace it and know that not only food is medicine and health, but your own lifestyle. We're here to support it. Okay, we're here to help you through these times. Okay.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people feel like if they eat healthy, that somehow they're not going to enjoy it as much, or they're not going to be able to entertain as much. And that's
not the case.
Not the case at all.
Exactly. Look,
not the case
if
at
you
all.
can smell the kitchen today, you would realize, wait a minute, I'm not missing out on
anything at all.
Exactly.
Anything at all.
So what I'm going to do is, I have some peas that I'm going to add in. I know it's probably slightly early, but I'm going to just add it in at this point, since I know that, listen, we want these to cook in. They're not going to get mushy at this point. But let's see what our pan looks like over
Let's see
here.
what this looks like.
Ooh, look at the color on that.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful? Everybody, are you able to see this?
Beautiful.
Oh, and the rice is beginning to cook up nicely. Now, we'll just need this to cook down a little bit more. And the reason I'm putting the peas in now is because they're frozen, fresh peas, essentially. And we want all the frozen to, get really cooked down all the way through. right? Look at the beautiful colors in this.
Beautiful.
Added so much fiber, so much of the way of antioxidants. This is a beautiful and healthy arroz con pollo. What do you think? Look at the color on the chicken, right?
It smells and looks amazing.
Well, let this finish cooking now, and we are going to continue to enjoy our drinks and chat a little bit more. This probably has just another few minutes. That's the beauty of parboiled brown rice.
I was going to say, so
You
10
know?
minutes, huh?
It's just 10 minutes. That's it. That's all you need. And then when we are done, we're ready to serve this. I have some chopped cilantro for the top.
Okay.
You can do whatever you choose. You can put scallions on there. Your mom, actually, we were talking before the show.
Yes.
She makes a beautiful garnish for the
Yes,
top,
she makes
right?
a garnish out of a tomato. She makes like a little flower
Yeah.
and puts it right in the middle
Oh.
of the dish. And usually, it's like served in a big. Some people use like a clay pot
Yeah,
to
yes.
serve it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And then she would take red peppers cooked
Oh,
and and then she would decorate
Decorate the
on the
sides.
sides. Yes,
that's
it
so
was
beautiful.
so beautiful.
You know,
Yes.
you eat with your eyes first, right?
Yeah. Well, it's true because we eat with our eyes
Yeah,
first, right? When something looks
exactly.
appetizing, when something looks
Exactly.
beautiful and colorful,
Exactly.
all of a sudden our juices start flowing
I know it's doing that right now. Don't you feel that
because
happening?
of the smell.
Oh, I know. Now, we've done a really great job of controlling the salt in this dish.
Okay.
And of course, I talked about our beautiful pilau in Trinidad, but we don't necessarily need to caramelize that chicken. We can lean on the spice a little bit more
Right.
and add pumpkin for that extra sweetness.
Right.
For some folks, add coconut milk or coconut cream, a whole can or two. You can just use a tablespoon of coconut cream if you really want that flavor. Keep the amount of it down, but it still will give you that creaminess. Pumpkin is great. So right now, of course, the chicken stock was low salt, and so was the tomato broth. Everything else was salt-free.
Absolutely.
And so what we're doing now is here we have the ability to control any salt or pepper seasonings, right? And so remember that I love this little thing. Helps me to measure. In the islands, we don't. We typically pour it in. We just eyeball it, and then go from there. But we really do have to kind of measure.
We really do have to measure.
This is a very small little spoon, but 1 teaspoon is like 2,300 milligrams.
Yes.
Just in the one. Imagine that, right? We eat a whole lot more than that. And like you said before, these things sneak into our food.
Absolutely.
Salt and the sugars, they're already added in. So here, I'm going to just open this lid up a little bit. And just at this point, just add a tiny amount of salt. So I have now controlled the amount of salt for this entire dish. You could put black pepper, but I don't think you use black pepper that much,
No,
right?
not much.
So we're going to leave that off.
But that little spoon is perfect
It's all we need.
because that's all you need.
Yeah. And remember all of the beautiful seasonings that was on the bottom? That now the pan has been deglazed, and it's now really getting a chance to meld in with the rest of the foods that are in here, all of our beautiful ingredients. So we're going to give this another minute or two. That's it. Let our rice continue to absorb that liquid. And at this point, I think we can go over some of the small changes that we made. Well, what are some of the small changes we made today in this delicious Cuban-style arroz con pollo? Well, our chicken thighs, first of all, we made sure that we removed the skin. We did not use any high salt flavoring cubes or any high salt stocks. We used a low salt chicken broth that was diluted with water. Instead of any added butter, we used a non-stick pan and extra virgin olive oil. Instead of white rice, we chose to use a quick cooking parboiled brown rice, and we actually mixed in some cauliflower rice into our dish today for added fiber. Instead of adding additional salt or sugar, we lean on the beautiful spices in this dish for flavor. And then, instead of using canned peas with added salt, we chose to use fresh frozen peas. So what are some of the small changes we made in our refreshing ginger-infused guava limeade? Well, we never added any kind of sweetened milk or cream to this, and instead of any honey or regular sugar, we chose a much healthier option that is better for your blood sugars, date sugar. And instead of using canned fruits that might be in sweetened syrup, we chose to use the fresh, whole guava that was pureed down to the pulp. So everybody, I think that we might be ready. Let's see, do you think we're ready? It might be like your cousin, right? Your cousin's dish where she makes it a little bit more
where she makes it a little more juicy, a little bit more soupy.
Yes.
Because there's a way to make it very, very dry.
Yeah.
And then a little bit more soupy.
That's true. I'm a soupy fan. How about
You like the soupy thing?
Yeah.
So I love it. I
Okay.
love it both ways.
Yeah. So let's see. We can plate some of it just to taste it a little bit. I'm feeling as though the rice might need maybe another minute. Maybe we do it without the cover on.
Yeah, to let it burn off a little bit.
Get rid of some of the liquid a little bit, right? We had a nice heavy hand. Well, I did with the broth. But in the meanwhile,
Yeah.
let's see if this had a chance to infuse some more.
Yeah.
But isn't this a beautiful color? Gosh.
It is gorgeous.
It's delicious.
And I love guava.
Yeah, guayaba. Is it
Guayaba,
guayaba?
guayaba.
Oh, wonderful. I'll tell you that we have
Guava.
guava.
That's what they say, but
Yes.
they say guava.
I love it. It's I think an Arawak origin,
Yeah.
right? But we had guavas in the backyard in Trinidad, and my mother would take them and make jam.
Oh, really?
So we would walk through our kitchen and smell
it.
jam boiling on the stove. It was amazing. But again,
And they're very, the fruit is very fragmatic,
yes,
right?
very much.
When it's ripe, you can
Yes.
smell it a mile away,
You
really.
can absolutely smell
Yes,
it a
yes.
mile away. So, should we be a little bit brave and just try it anyway?
Yeah.
I think why not, right? Now, you could. If
I
you-
think it's drying up.
I think it's
Yeah.
drying up. I think that we could just at least taste it off the pot. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do
Right?
it.
Let's do it. I have some spoons for us, and I have a little plate for us. Let's try it. Let's see what we've done. I'm going to just plate a little bit here. I'm going to try a little bit of it. Looks like the chicken is cooked down. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
And the chicken finished cooking
Yeah.
inside
Inside the meal.
pot.
So
Yeah.
it's a one-pot meal, right?
Absolutely.
Literally a one-pot meal. So let us see here. Why don't we just try this? What do you think? And we can
It's
top this
beautiful.
off. Yeah, we can top this off with a little bit of the cilantro. Here's chopped cilantro just right on top. Right there. You've got a beautiful plate.
It's a
of
beautiful
arroz con
plate.
pollo,
Look at that.
right? You want to try some of this?
Sure.
Okay, I have a fork here for you.
Okay.
Let's see if it's cooked enough for you to enjoy some of it. It's out of the way.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I'll try a little bit. Wait.
Well, I'll wait for you.
No, go ahead.
You sure?
I need to get your stamp of approval.
Okay.
Is it cooked? Is it flavorful?
Very flavorful. It's a little hot.
Yes, of course. It's super hot.
We
I
have,
know.
we have to give it a chance to
Yes, we
cool
do.
off a little bit. Wow, super flavorful. The chicken is perfectly cooked.
Beautiful. I'm going to try a little bit here.
Now the texture, and I think
Yes.
maybe you can talk to us a little bit about this. The texture of the rice is different, right?
It's a little bit
So
firmer.
I think that if you substitute, it's a little firm, right?
Just needed to cook down just a little bit more, and it will soften. So you can cook this down if you want a softer texture. With this right, just cook it down.
Just cook it down some more. Yeah.
More liquid, cook it down.
Yeah.
This one has the fiber content in there, so you're going to taste the firmness of it. You also might be tasting some of the cauliflower in there.
Is that it?
But it just needs more time. And I
Just
wish we
more.
had more time for you, everybody. I really wish we did, but we don't. So you're going to have to join us for another episode coming up soon.
Absolutely.
We want to wish you only the best, and I want to toast off to good health and long life, everyone.
Salud.
Salud. See you next time.